And so far we have seen that evolving throughout the different weeks. So in the first week, teams were strong.
Correct.
Teams were there. So you had, MYA, you had, for instance, Team Saiyan that were there, very big names within the scene, and it did well.
Okay.
The second qualifiers was the Singapore qualifiers, and we saw really good games, really strong coming out of them. This is the second time we're going to see the Malaysian side come out. So hopefully they have seen the teams that have made it in. And we're going to go into game. On the blue side this time around, it's going to be XF7. And on the red side
will be MYA3 then. As you can see right now, Fanny has been banned from the XF7 side. And we'll talk about Fanny, I think, recently, including in the previous tournament that we casted before. Fanny has been a real annoyance to every team because of the versatility, and of course the killing power is there. And if you notice that MYA3 will use their first ban onto Digger, and Digger has been one of the mages that kind of surprises me, not because of his cuteness of course, but the amount of skills and the skill set that he has is also making the team really suitable. He does not only support the team, but of course can do a lot of damage as well for mage characters.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Mobile Legends is fast-paced. Everybody has really lots of damage.
Right.
Interestingly, we are not seeing the very typical bans come out. So we no longer saw, like in the 2 other weeks before this, Grok being removed, Kagura being removed, Lancelot being removed. This time around, Lancelot not being removed is open. None of the tanks are being removed as well. And look at that, lo and behold, Lancelot already being hovered upon, locked in. This is not a typical ban phase. This is very strange.
And I think, I mean, when I noticed that there's a pattern between the picks that the teams use for this particular tournament, which is MPL right here, I noticed that a lot of them uses the dual tank setup. And if it's not the dual tank setup, they'll try to get the full team composition, which requires a very high or preferred character based on their particular skills. Say for example, the assassin, they'll try to get a much more preferable assassin, like maybe Saber in top, like what we have right now in the standings. And of course, maybe for tanks, they'll try to get Hilda. I was really surprised that Hilda was one of those tanks that actually got on board. But as you can see right now, XF7, always get it wrong, always start with F, no idea why. Lancelot, Grok, and while on MYA3 side, they had Akai and Saber right here. So, the players, they're just trying to find the teams, the characters or the heroes they use, which is much more suitable for them.
This is also the current meta that's going on here. Definitely Akai with a very strong pick, if not Grok being chosen.
Yes.
So we have Aurora Grok, which is I would say the quintessential meat and potatoes that's going on here. Really strong lineup coming up from XF7 here. Right. Solid picks coming up from the 3. Let's see how MYA3 responds with this, because so
Hilda again.
Oh, Alice, interesting. You would think that lots of initiation, lots of disruption coming up from MYA3 will create an opening for Alice.
Yeah.
But so concentrated onto the team fight.
Yes.
I'm not so sure about this unless they run out the composition. Oh no, the last composition for MYA3 should be a marksman as well. So I'm not sure how that's gonna work out. It's gonna be a very different game plan when you see XF7 going for a more traditional. In fact, they do pick up Chow here as well. So no, sorry, still a hover.
And Cho and Roger are following the marksman, taking the marksman position. So we have to see how MYA does now to counter this pick.
I think it's quite heavily skewed. I definitely prefer the draft of XF7 so far here. I'm thinking this needs to be a Yishun Shin coming up from MYA3 to not only help in the global pressure, but as well as to keep that slight distance away.
Oh, they're gonna go with Carry instead.
Wow. Okay. So either lots of confidence coming through. I mean, definitely lots of confidence coming through here.
Definitely.
It's going to come down to a heavy execution and capturing that right moment here, because the lineup that they have is
eccentric.
Well, eccentric, yes, but I say it's not really filling in the weaknesses of each other. So it's curious to see how they're going to execute this. You know, MYA, the main team has already made it through. This is the third one that's going to be selected. So, you know, maybe some of the knowledge, some of the training has been passed over, and you know, they're pulling out a pocket strategy that clearly works for them. I'm guessing they feel confident and comfortable with this.
Yeah.
So let's see how they're going to do.
And going back to your question, why a lot of people are asking me why, like, you know, why should they choose Yu Sin? Like, you know, you just mentioned. I find that Yu Sin, if they were to select him, it will kind of feel like, first, number one, the holes that you said, the weakness of the holes. And if you notice the compromisations of the team composition, you got Alice, you got Hilda, you got Akai. Those are teams or heroes that works well in team fights. They work well with team fight, and Yu Sin is not a stranger to the team fight. But anyway, we'll go with the draft right now. As you can see, Falcon 7 Alpha, which is XF7 against MYA3 right here. As the blue team will be, as usual, the 3-1-1 setup. It's no stranger to all of us right now in the esports scene.
No, because Turtle is up top. Looks like they're going to do that. So the proxy lane already begins. Really easy just to help, you know, push that wave out towards it. I do like the execution of Falcon 7 Alpha. We're going to change it to something else. Oh god, this is a mouthful.
Okay, it's XF7 or Falcon right now?
Falcon.
Okay, let's do it Falcon. So, like you said, I really like the strategy because they go and aim on top of the opponent's map. They get the first kill of the creeps. They get the advantage of the
they stole the jungle.
And deny them as well. Correct.
And they got that. This is really well executed because it's safe.
Yes.
It's calculated. And it puts them a little bit ahead. So if you just look at the goal there as well, there's a little bit of a lead. Slight lead already. Which I'm happy to see that happen. So right now they're going to catch up the wave up top again. So everything not missed whatsoever. Really good stuff coming out from them. Love to see more of that. We also are seeing that, you know, Carrie's already getting the little hermit crab.
And Roger is against Saber right here. Speaking of Roger, initially Roger, I find that he's one of those versatile marksmen. Not many people like to use him in the previous meta because of his lack of skill set as a main marksman. But now he's like the main pick because of all of the skills, the uses of the he has a chance of becoming a fighter as well, a main fighter. So that adds a lot of versatility in him, right? I think a lot of teams trying to find that, hey, the hero we choose, we just don't want it to be more specific, because if you're specific at something, you're going to be weak at one thing. But now if you're an all versatile hero, you can actually help to balance up your strength and weaknesses. So that's my own opinion in terms of Roger's pick for this meta.
Yeah, I think Roger definitely has a place in this meta here.
Correct.
A lot of it is just holding out lanes. A lot of it is, you know, clearing out the jungle really quickly and forming as a distraction, because you can't just leave him alone on the side. For instance, you can leave Raphael alone in the side lane. Roger, on the other hand, you have to pay attention to do that.
As you can see this right here, this is going to be a very bad round for carry on MYA3 as Lancelot gets the first blood for his team against MYA3's carry. And speaking of which, you've been mentioning like, whoa, they're not banning Lancelot, or they're not, you know, taking out Lancelot within the draft pick. May I know why, or you know, the opinions of Lancelot coming into the draft? I know Lancelot is a very one-sided character. He's more of an assassin, like he wants to finish up the kills. But why is he so deadly in the draft pick?
Well, I mean, he's deadly for one of two reasons.
Okay.
So the first and foremost reason is that he can deal a lot of area damage. And secondly is he's able to simply mitigate damage from initiating his skill. So
I see.
You can, you know, escape out really quickly and while dealing damage to an entire team if the fight is going on there. So it's very, very hard to position against him. And then he also has dashes as well. Wall does get thrown up.
As you can see right here,
Alice coming in. It is level 4 already. The freeze is coming out. The freeze is good. Grok will be coming in. Lancelot on the other end there. Targeting down the other side there. Alice already starting to go down here. But unfortunately, the first blood will come up. Sorry, the first death comes out to Aurora. The jump in does happen here. Another kill to go. Lancelot needs to back away from this. Grok as well now. A little bit of trouble. Carry coming in. Will be able to finish off the kill. Yes. Ooh. Really well done here. Lancelot needs to back away from this. And MYA takes a decisive fight against Falcon.
3-0 actually over there. As you can see, Roger is also a bit of a trouble right now as Saber is able to pressure the lane and continue with the farming. This is looking actually pretty bad for Falcon at this point of the stage, but no worries, it's still early game. And you can notice that the team fight for Mya3 is very strong. So if I were Falcon, I will want to separate that, try to get solo fights like what the Lancelot did previously.
Exactly.
And involve the team once we are all ready. So anyways, I prefer that all teams will go for their farm first. As you can see, they're level 5, Roger is level 7, Lancelot level 7, the rest of them are level 5. While the opposing team, look at that, Saber level 8 already in the lane because he managed to pressure Roger up. Which I think also gives him a positive advantage on that.
Yeah, he's getting solo experience really from the lane, which is good stuff for them. In the last fight, a lot of things did not go well in particular, which is that they were so far removed. We talked about, I just mentioned Lancelot having the AoE, but he only was separating out Alice there. So a lot of damage was missed out onto the main, gist of the team fight that's there. So they just need to pick fights better, more suited towards their team composition. They can have good, solid team fights.
Correct.
But we also have Alice that's such a big presence in team fights, and Carrie as well, that came in and basically cleaned house.
Yes.
So we need to be careful of that moving to the next round. 40 seconds on the clock for the next turtle to be spawned. It looks like it's going to be another setup here.
Oh, right here, as you can see Saber harassing Lancelot, and Lancelot managed to dash away from the danger. He's gonna run back safely back to the home.
That is why he's such a good pick.
Now I know why. But then look at that. This is a bit of a trouble right now for
Kick
Falcon.
back!
And oh, look at that. Akai going inside the tower right here. He's able to farm the tower. Managed to tank the tower away, but Alice getting the kill onto Aurora. And this is not looking good for Falcon as they will have to retreat. No chance to retreat as Hilda takes down Grog right here and leaving Alice. Alice taking away Cho. This is looking bad for Falcon 7. Another 0-3 gameplay. And look at how much tank or the durability of Akai and Hilda. The dual tank setup that I first mentioned. They are able to tank the tower. Not only they're able to tank the tower, but again, rush it in and get the kill for Alice. And of course, everybody gets a share of the pick.
I think also it comes down to really, really good execution from Mya3 so far. They are able to juggle the tower aggro as well. So you're taking a little bit of damage. Akai went in, did his spin to win. They come out, Hilda then goes in. So really good communication from the team here as well. They are taking the top turret, the middle turret, the bottom turret. The goal lead very quickly. 4,000 in the lead here. Really strong stuff. Lord has officially spawned now, and it's looking really difficult for Falcon at this point.
And I think that
while they have, I think, the most standard team composition that's there, their execution in team fights needs work.
And you can see that when they started to attack middle, where they took out Lancelot out of the map, Lancelot survived, but then that gives another opportunity for the top lane to initiate the team fights. And we already talked about it. MYA strat is more team fight based, excluding carry.
And you're making it work really well as well. Wall comes out, but guess what? No sugar.
Nope.
Lancelot does get caught out again.
As you can see, Lancelot and the rest of them, he's still separated from his team. And again, the team fight for MYA is just working out here. Alice killing off here. Saber killing off Grog. This is not looking good. Carry again with Roger over here. And Aura managed to take the solo consolation kill. But then this is a bit too much of a losing fight right here, as both of the remaining survivors of Falcon 7 Alpha will have to walk away into their base, while all of the members of Mya3 will continue to push into the mid lane.
That was, Lancelot trying to do his very best, but unfortunately a little bit too overpowering. All that extra levels here, which includes all the extra items from all that extra gold. It's crazy. It's 17,000 to 23,000 at 8 minutes in. Things are looking bleak. They need to stop the bleeding. They need to go in, clear out the jungle, clear out the waves, so that they can have stronger team fights later on. But they're being shoved into having team fights here, and I don't think so. It's wise for them to be taking that fight. Lose that one turret, retreat back,
Correct.
That's what they should be doing, but instead they're going for that fight. They are bloodthirsty. And another pick's coming out
Oh,
here. This
no.
is not good.
Roger falling down to Arkai right here with the team. And look at that. Grok trying to go inside. Cho managed to kill on Arkai. And I think they're just going to break it up right here. And speaking of which, let me just stress back on the Lancelot pick. The Lancelot pick was good, but again, it wasn't fully utilized in the proper team fights like we just mentioned at that point. Seeing Carry in, well, Carry, we mentioned that it was an orthodox pick for this type of team fight composition, but apparently it's working out. Carry is able to come in more later onwards because she knows, or he knows, the user knows that his team got her back from this side.
I mean, this is utilizing the heroes for the specific purpose that they have and the kit. And what's happening here is, as much as Lancelot would like to be in the middle of fight, it looks like he's going to find an engage here. Hilda does get caught up. A quarter of the health already. The freeze does come through. The kickback does happen as well. Will get brought down. Aurora now not freezing anybody just yet. The wall is really good, but is it for their doom? It looks like it. Alice does come in. Lots of damage. Akai now chasing onto Charm.
Oh, no.
Alice has already killed Aurora. The chase is still happening. Looks like we'll be able to make it our safety. Not quite fishing the right person away here, but what a strong fight. Grok's wall off to the end meant that they needed to do a retreat back. They will be able to get yet another tower away from this. The turret does go down. They could go for Lord quite easily here, but they don't need to just yet. They have so much of pressure, and wisely they're taking away the entire jungle. I really like this. It's rubbing salt into wounds.
And you can see that Falcon actually used most of their skills onto Hilda, and you and I know that Hilda is one of the tankiest heroes out there, one of the more versatile heroes, and can also deal damage as a fighter. There's a lot of resources being used onto Hilda, and when they notice that, wait a minute, Hilda isn't the only MYA3 member over there.
The thing is,
coming out.
They were playing to their strengths, right? They found somebody.
Correct. You should have to take out. I would take out.
Out of position. Yeah. But once that happened, they should have backed off very, very quickly. But instead, they linger for a bit. Lord does get started up here. And look at how fast Lord is going down. I don't believe they will have a chance to respond to this. Chow's coming in from the side.
Oh, Chow trying to initiate something right here.
Oh, possible to get the steal. Very close. Gonna come down here. In fact, does get stolen away. Roger does get it in the end. They shoot back away from this and not take more damage. Oh, they need to be careful about this. Aurora is already flickering away. Lord is already spawned. Triple kill does come out. Will the next kill happen? Alice jumping forward. No, Alice does not. In fact, the knockup does happen. And there we have it. Team wipe.
Team wipe, mind wipe.
The team wipe comes out. It doesn't matter whether you have Lord now, because Diego is going to end the game. They have a good solid 10 seconds.
Correct.
And creeps to go there.
They still have Arkai, which is a durable tank.
And just like that, first game going to go to MYA3. Really good execution. I like seeing this, evolution from them. While they did lose out the first blood that's there, really playing to the strengths of their composition. I know I called them out for
not choosing the main, the actual...
For having a slightly, off-kilter composition there. And we did mention that it's going to come down to execution. Execution here, really solid stuff.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of which, I noticed that Falcon 7 Alpha was the opposite of MYA3. They have good heroes which kind of fill up